Hi everyone, I'm Bill and welcome to my channel. Before we get started, please consider subscribing to my channel and possibly becoming a Patreon. In this video, I'm going to help T8 Pro owners, RadioMaster T8 Pro owners, set up their radio so that they can be linked to another radio so they could use the buddy box system where you fly and you train someone to fly using instructor's radio and a student's radio. So I'm going to use the RadioMaster TX16S and obviously the T8 Pro to do this. So let's switch over to the overhead cam and I will show you the settings that you need to put on both radios. The first thing, let's set up the RadioMaster T8 Pro to be the student radio. Now all we need to do is hit the model button. We're going to go down to a spare slot. We're going to push enter. And we're going to say create. Now we don't need to choose a type, we just push return and we'll come out and we're ready to go. Now if we move across, the only other thing we need to do is to move up and we'll come to the bottom screen of our setup window and we're going to change master by pushing enter and change it to slave. Now that is everything we need to do in our student radio. Now let's take a look at the instructor's radio, the TX16S. So we've got our model. Now this is the model we're going to fly. So this would already be set up with everything you need to have in there with the correct mixings and whatever. So I'm not going to go into that. I'll be doing videos about that later on. But what we need to do is hit the model button and we are going to go across. Oh no, let's actually go to the bottom of the model setup screen. You can see trainer mode. Now this one we need to set up to master jack. The other one was set up to slave jack and this is set up to master. But if I push enter, I just want to quickly show you something. You can use another multi-protocol module to wirelessly link the two radios. I've never tried that, but you can do that. I just wanted to show you that option. But we're going to go back to master. Now we're going to page across, because there's just a little bit work on this radio that we need to do. And we're going to go into special functions. Now we have to set up the trainer switch so that we can take control back from the student. So that's done here. You can see on special function 14, I've set it up on switch B. So when switch B is forward, I have full control of the model. When I pull the switch back, it will tell you trainer mode's on, and when I switch back, it tells me we've turned it off again. So you can see the lines there. So it's special function 14 in this case. It could be different for your radio. Then the switch I've selected in the middle position, and then you pick up the option trainer sticks, and then you activate it. That's why hopefully you can see this on the screen. That is green because it's activated, and you can deactivate it. So then we go on to the next line when all I've set up is when the switch is in the middle position, it's going to play the track training mode. And when I put the switch back, off, and it will just play those sounds once. Now let's take a look at the system menu in this instructor's radio. Now we're going to come out of here, we're going to go to the system menu, and we're going to go across until we get to trainer. Now, one thing we have to make sure is that the channel mapping on both the radios is the same. So that's, in my case, it's AETR, and on this radio too, it is AETR as well. Now you can see the channels. You can move the channels around by, if we go to aileron, go across, click, we can change that one to channel 2 to match it up. But it's better if they do match straight from the get-go. Okay, then we've got a multiplier. Now I will show you what the multiplier is later. This is when you have to make sure that the resolution of the trainees' radio matches up, so they have full resolution of the sticks. I've plugged the two radios together using a 3.5mm stereo jack. Now what I want to show you is the options here in your trainer section under the system menu in your TX16S. You can actually change how the student has control, how they have control. So if I just click, we're on the aileron, if I go to here, we can turn it off where the student wouldn't have control of the aileron. We can then go to plus equals. That's where both sticks will work, both the instructors and the students would work, which I don't know why you would want to do that. And then of course colon equals is where the student radio will only have control when we flick the SB switch back. So I just wanted to explain that to you, and these multipliers we will go through in just a second. And I've taken the screen off the small radio because we don't need that on there for now. So if we now look at this window, you can see I'm getting fairly good resolution there. We should be minus 100 plus 100. So on the throttle, close, and then on rudder, and then elevator. You can see they're fairly close, but we can go down and change the multiplier if we need to get those adjustments as close to 100 plus 100 minus 100 if you want to, but I'm going to leave those as they are. So now let's just come out. So I'm going to demonstrate this is working now. If I hit the model button and hit the model button again, you can now see the aileron, and if we arm, throttle, and we've got rudder and we've got elevator. So if now I switch over to this radio, you'll see now there's the throttle, there's ailerons, there's elevator, and there's rudder. I just want to show you on this radio, on the TX16S in this model, I've set up a safe throttle. We will be going through that on the T8 at a later date. But what I wanted to show you is when we are in the instructor's radio is operating at the moment, and we haven't armed the throttle. If we give control to the student, we'll only have rudder, elevator, and aileron. You'll see the throttle is not working. So what you must remember to do is to remember to arm and then put the throttle up slightly. You would normally take off for the person who's learning anyway. And then when we switch over, they will have control of the throttle. I just want to point out something before I go. When I was filming this video, I had slight problems with my cable. Now this is a very old 3.5mm stereo jack cable that the radio kept disconnecting. The actual radio will say trainer mode disconnected to warn you that that's what's happened, so that the instructor can take over again. Now what I had to do is put a washer on the 3.5mm jack to make it work properly. I had to put two on one side and one on the other. Now I don't know if this is a substandard cable, but I wanted to point it out that if you have that problem, that's what it could be. I have tried to get another 3.5mm jack cable, but I'm in the office in the studio, so I've not had a chance to be able to get one. But I do need to get one so that I can test it. But once I did that modification, it connected and everything was 100%. It stayed connected. But if it did disconnect when you're in flight, then obviously what would happen, the instructor would take over, so there wouldn't be a problem. Thanks for watching this video, and if you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below because I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Happy flying. Bye for now.